Excuse me.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Just to Kick It is a Blessing podcast with your host, Keith Tupagatiramu. I just want to remind you that today's episode is brought to you by the Healthy Hub. So make sure you check them out online or on social media. Today's episode is very, very special. We are about to have so much fun. Before I introduce my guest, this is someone I've known for a while. Back in the days, our parents shared an apartment in the UK. But anyways, enough about that. I'd like to introduce my co-host. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi guys. Where? Wow. Hi guys. I'm so grateful to be back and thank you for having me back. And it's so special to see that mutual friends just also can bring you guys together. So this is also someone very special to me. She's my co-wife. That's a story for another day. But I love you so much and I'm glad that you're here and I'm glad that I have this opportunity to have this discussion with you.
Kuni hype.
Hey, we must, but we must.
Hi guys. My name is Wanjara Nyambura Karanditu, but my people call me Wanji. I'm more than excited to be here because this is just a circle of love.
Yeah, I love that it's a circle of love. And let's just get into it in such a manner that this is one of those topics where it's close to our hearts. Tupac and I can only aspire, but you're already in it. And we want to speak about being a young mom in this time and age, your challenges, your rewards, the whole experience. And so as we start off, the first thing that we wanted to ask you is, when did you find out that you were pregnant? How did that go?
In fact, even before you answer that, I just want to say something is, also one of my really close friends gave birth. And for me, I was with her in till 7 months of pregnant and I didn't know. And maybe she lied to me or what, but she told me she didn't know as well. So that's actually something I really would like to know. When did you know?
Okay, I found out I was maybe 5.5 months, 6 months pregnant there. I was feeling a bit of discomfort in my tummy. So I just went to go see a doctor. And then he just told me, I am with child.
Hey,
so
okay.
where the clinic was, just a few shops down, there was a bar.
Right.
Took myself there and was just not believing because I was not understanding how.
How?
But even for me, what had happened, I started also showing late. By
Right.
6.5 months, I was showing, and it wasn't at a big. I got big at around 8 months there.
Yeah.
And that's now when my friends started getting suspicious.
Right.
And me, I was that one for, I am not telling nobody.
Deny till you die, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone. Yani.
Everyone. Even my own mom. Everybody.
But there's something more unique to this situation, right? You've told us that you were 5.5 months pregnant, right? And then where were you? Because people need to know the location of where you are.
Okay, I wasn't home. I was actually in another country. I was in Malaysia for uni at that time. Disasters were happening. Let's just say your girl was not doing what she's supposed to be doing. I was just doing the wrong things, making the wrong decisions.
Right.
But kulikuwa mtu alikuwa nani confused vizuri.
Akakuconfuse, akasema akapita na wewe and then
Come baby come.
Hey!
So,
double entendre.
but yeah,
Yeah.
as in it's just I know, if you guys honestly asked me these questions a year ago, I would refuse to sit down and talk to you because I was so ashamed.
Yeah.
But now I'm not ashamed. I understand that these things happened for me and I had to learn from them and just understand that it's going to be a part of my character building and you need character development too.
For sure.
Don't worry, even for me, when even from the latest podcast, when I talked about some of the things I went through, if you asked me about whether I'd have talked about them, I wouldn't have talked about them because, like you said, I was also embarrassed about it, Yeah. And that actually brings me, to my question about it. How did you take it? Was it actually embarrassing? Because, now when you're pregnant, there's proof that you're engaging in behaviors you shouldn't be engaging, Some of us, our parents think, but there's no proof, So
They have an inkling, but it's not
but there's no proof. You get?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then see when you're pregnant, there is proof that, some behaviors that shouldn't be happening are happening.
Well, okay, how do you explain this? Because for me, there was a time I had kind of gained the courage to tell my mom.
Yeah.
But that day when I was having a phone call with her, she was there telling me about how my uncle was there giving his assumptions. So now I kind of got really annoyed because I was like, dude, keep your assumptions to yourself, Let me tell my mom. It was really hard for me. And that's also why I didn't want to tell people. I didn't want to be a topic of discussion because I've had friends who had babies really young and I was fighting people because they shouldn't be talking on people's kids and all those things. So that was like my biggest... I wouldn't say embarrassed or like ashamed of being pregnant. It was just, I was not ready to deal with that energy of knowing people are talking about you. I didn't know I had friends who were going to protect me, that wanted to protect me, but I was keeping like them at arm's length. I didn't want that at all.
So when did you tell your mom? How was that conversation of telling your mom? Especially because your mom is in Kenya, you're in Malaysia. So there's like, there's the whole what's going on. And then with that, I'd also ask, you've kept everyone at arm's length up until which point? Like at which point did you start telling everybody, or when you were allowing like to have a support system, etc., etc.? Like when were you ready to tell people?
I told my mom after I literally had given birth.
What?
Yeah.
Ati?
Yeah.
Wanji, give me life.
Like, the baby had just popped out of me.
So the baby,
Poop, I've just given birth. Like, I have just given birth. My legs are still in the air. Like, I've just given birth.
Your placenta is not even out.
But then my placenta had not yet been taken.
Okay.
You can just hear the blood pressure machine just going, tee, tee, tee. And I'm on the phone. Ati, you've had a baby.
Wait.
Yeah. You just hear the thing just get louder and louder and louder. My mom almost fainted. Me, I was just like, you could hear me just breathe. I was like, whew,
It's a relief.
It's out.
Wait, so I want to ask you, you told your mom when you're in Malaysia. You gave birth in Malaysia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've just given birth to your lovely son. Shout out to that boy. He's so special. Anyway, you've just given birth to your lovely boy. You've just told your mom. No one else knew. Did you do this whole thing by yourself?
I was in like what's that room called? Anyways, the room where you give birth.
The delivery room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Been a while.
It's all right now. It's been 3 years.
I'm in toddler stage right now, so
Yeah.
it's been a minute. My auntie and uncle were actually in the waiting room.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least there's a support system.
They were under the notion I was getting an operation for appendicitis. I had
Wow.
stuck with my life.
Yo, wait, actually, the funniest, let me tell you something, yeah? The funniest thing is, like, I think now when you had given birth, and then I think now, because my dad and your dad are close, and now your dad told my dad, I think he came and talked to me about it. He's like, can you imagine Wanjira gave birth, and then all this time she's been lying to Simon that she has appendicitis. I died. Let me tell you. Wow. I'm telling you, when my dad told me that, I don't think I've laughed like that. Because my dad told me, and then I think a few hours later, my mom now told me. And your dad told me, but I was laughing.
Appendicitis. Bro, okay.
What did you even think of that?
Yeah. How? What?
Let me tell you, I was the most stressed out pregnant woman ever. Like, I won't even lie. I was just stressed because I think that stress came from like me knowing I'm a very responsible person, and then there's also that pressure I put on myself because I am like my mom's firstborn, and when you look at my extended family, like I'm the one where there's let me not say hope, but they know I can
There's
deliver.
expectations,
Like they know
right.
I always deliver. So for me to fall short,
Right.
I was now like, hey, Nyanza, this story I'm with child. I
Yeah.
say I'm a mom and all those things. So it was just like, you know what? I was actually depressed. Like, I was
Right.
just, you know what? When this bubble of denial, let's stay here. Like, the baby shall come. We will
And
be fine.
once he's here, then we can deal with everything
We will
else.
move the way we decide
Right.
to move. But it was just, looking back, I find it so funny, but
Yeah.
it was really
No, that was funny and creative.
No, for sure. No, because she's smart.
That's
that one we can
funny.
give her.
That's
She's smart.
funny and creative.
But as in, for me, I'd say like when I finally found out, I was shook. Because we were talking the whole time. Like, we were talking,
I'm on the
but she's
phone.
not being me nothing. So I'm just like, what? This period? What? How?
When?
Anyway, but you've said something that is very, very key, that you were in a bubble of denial. And the reason that you felt the pressure to deceive everybody around you was because of the expectations that you were put in, or the expectations that are required of you, and you felt as though you had fallen short. What do you think now, in hindsight, now that you have this beautiful baby boy? Do you still feel like you've fallen short?
Imagine, no. I think with me, like, actually, it's taken a while to reach where I am right now. But in terms of, like, I insisted to go back to school. Sometimes I have my cause of misbehaving. I mean, I'm human.
Yeah.
But
And you're still young.
Of
I'm
course.
still young.
You have the rest of your
But
life.
there's just like, even now, I feel like I can see my mom also like breathe a bit. She was a bit worried, like, this girl ain't going nowhere. She's there with child, madness,
Yeah.
But now I can see her. She's just like, okay, this girl is excelling in school. Motherhood, she's trying. Like, I do have my struggles because I'm 24. Sometimes when I take a kwenda sherehe and I don't want to come back, motherhood can give you stress.
I don't want to come back.
Motherhood can give you stress, man.
Right.
But like, I've reached that place recently. Actually realized, like, I'm 24. There's no need to fight your mom now.
Yeah.
Imagine, just let go, and
Let
it's
go.
okay. Like, just learn that your environment has changed and it's okay. Like, the people who are your people will accommodate your new lifestyle. Like, Jamari has cleaned house. You don't understand. He
Right.
has swept the demons out of my life.
Yes,
Okay.
very true.
And
Yeah.
I'm happy because I didn't have to talk about it or whatever. But the weirdest thing I can even say, like, just to backtrack a bit, when I used to interact with my friends in Malaysia, and I was showing a bit. Black, are you pregnant? I'm like, no, my tummy is swollen due to gas.
Wow.
I was giving
Wow.
medical
Wow.
things.
Gas.
Yeah.
Gas.
The person who can even
Appendicitis,
attest
gas.
to this, the people who can attest to this is Elvis, Viola, and Zena. Those three can tell you this girl
Yeah.
was sticking to that line. And they always used to ask me, you can tell me. And I'm like, no,
I'm not telling you.
I'm not.
It's not happening.
Let me ask
So,
you, yeah?
I'm more honest now.
You didn't like want to start like wearing baggy clothes because like,
I did.
well, but it was still showing, huh?
Which day was it? There was a time I really started wearing baggy clothes.
But then also guys noticed the change of fashion.
Not even that. Like, I'm a small person. You can see just even the teeny bit of change. Even when I put on weight, you're like, well, Menona. Like, it's quick.
Yeah.
So, and what I started doing was now staying in the house. So, like, I was just like, I would only step out to do like groceries and things like that and come back. I would not want to.
Interact with people. And of course, again, that's out of your character because you're a social person. You're a
super.
Yeah, you like being out there. As you've said, unaenda sherehe na udai kurudi home.
Like, we continue until
Until
we
you
are
choke
done,
up.
until I'm done. But now it's just, at that time, it was, I think I've never been so. I was sad. I was angry with myself.
Right.
I was disappointed. I was just mad. You get me? I was fighting with everyone. I was having arguments with everyone. I think the only people I was not arguing with were like Elvis and Viola.
Right.
Everyone else.
Shout
Like,
out to them, by the way.
Shout out to them, especially like the ones in Malaysia. But in Kenya, my friends who I would talk to on the phone, we were good. Like, we were fine.
I wanted to ask you, yeah, it's a tough question, yeah, but I think we all would like to know this is at any point did you consider abortion?
Yeah, of course, it's always in your mind.
Yeah.
I think one thing is what I said was, what if this is my only chance to have a child? And also, aborting is, let me not sound rude, but I feel like everyone has their own choice. Like, you do what suits you. I will never judge you.
Yeah.
But I feel like abortion is also another mental game you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life.
That is true.
And I said, I don't think I have the willpower to deal with that. Like, it's a lot for me. So I'm like, if this is my chance to have my one and only child, let me take it, no matter how hard it will be. But I know it will be the most beautiful thing, and he's a blessing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I got to meet him the other day, and thank you for inviting me to see him. I really appreciate it. And yeah, like again, I wanted to ask, so you never got the chance to finish the degree in Malaysia, but you said you've gone back to school. So how's it going back to school, that whole transition?
Thank God for COVID. Thank you, COVID-19. I must give you a shout out because for you, I have online classes, and it's amazing because I get to be a mom and also
A student.
a student, and I'm actually like, through the grace of God, I'm thriving. Woo, your girl.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, we must get that. degree.
We're smelling that graduation real soon, yeah?
Hopefully.
We're here for it. So, okay. So this is Interesting, because it takes two to tango, isn't it? And you're not Virgin Mary, clearly. So let us speak about the other party, the one that we call the father, or I hear some people say biological donor, right?
Oh, that's a nice one.
That's what I hear
That's
they
a
refer
nice
to
one.
because father brings a connotation of presence and etc. So are you in a relationship with this individual? What does that look like? Do you guys co-parent? Let us into that space of the other party.
Ama alikuweka box alafu alikutupa. It's okay with that though.
No, don't worry.
Yeah?
I think with me it was like he was someone I met, bumped into, we started vibing, having a very serious thing. Like on weekends I'd be at his place and stuff. But the thing is, we broke up because of a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I dumped him because I asked him, "Is this your child?" Like he has a kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
with someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said, "No, that's not my kid."
Wow, it's getting hot in the studio.
Me, I'm an FBI girl.
You've
I
always
know.
been.
So me, I
You've
see you
always
sending
been.
monies to Juba. Unafanya nini unatuma pesa kwa Juba Western Union? It's okay to be a father. Me, I'm not someone who's gonna like
Right. I'm not gonna shun you because you have a child.
Yeah, in fact,
but
I'm
be
happy.
honest.
But do what you're doing. Keep
Right.
it up, you know.
Right.
But if you can lie on that, I don't want to be with you. Fact. So even when we broke up, that was now when I was like getting to know I'm pregnant and stuff. So me, it was after I had Jamari and I told him this. Listen, me, I'm a result of inconsistency. I know what inconsistency, like when it
Looks
comes to
like.
parenting,
Right.
I know what it's like. I'm not a toilet, neither is my child. So if you want to be in my child's life, you have to be consistent and you're going to stay there.
Right.
I told him, you show up before 13 years. If you show up after, because those are his formative years, if you show
Right.
up after, you can be uncle. Sorry.
Uncle someone. No, but let
Yeah.
me ask you,
Wow.
But there's
was he
a
the one
reason for it.
person that did you tell him during the pregnancy or also after?
I told him after.
Hey, okay.
So wait, did he ever know you're pregnant?
No.
He never
But
knew
I
you're
think
pregnant?
he knew that things hit my ovaries because it was not shooting blanks. So,
Girl.
You've come in hot.
Hot.
What?
As in, bro, this studio.
but like I feel like guys know when they know when they've impregnated a girl. Like they just know. Even I knew my body was off, but I was just like, you know how you just brush it off?
Yeah.
But
For sure, of course.
so the thing is, I don't want inconsistency, and I want my child to feel loved and just beauty, you know, just everything.
Right, but currently, like, are you guys in communication? Has he tried to reach out? Nothing.
For real, excuse me, men, we have to do better. It takes two to tango.
It does.
So
it really does.
if you know you're not shooting blanks, na unamwaga pahali, please learn to take care of the child, you know.
For sure. And then,
And-
sorry
And it
for
gives less
interrupting.
stress on the mother, you know. Like, let's protect each other's well-beings, you know.
For sure. No, I wanted to ask. Right now, we're laughing about it, and we can speak about it casually, of course. But the people who are viewing this and the message that we're trying to come across are people who are probably still going through it. So I
Yeah.
want to ask, what is your mental? You've just given birth. You don't have a consistent partner, right? Or a partner that doesn't know, and after they find out, they're not involved. Earlier on, you just said they are involved in the other child's life. So how is it dealing with all of that? And then, of course, moving back here to the country and knowing that, okay, this is a journey that for now and for the foreseeable future, you're walking, you and Jamari.
I think when it came to like after giving birth, I was okay. Like you guys, like big ups to my extended family in UJ. Big ups to like my mom's friends, like a Chokselian group. Like I love you. There's like those are my other moms. Even my dad surprised me a few months after, but thank you, Father. That's not one way. Thank you.
Shout out to you.
Even my lovely stepmom, my stepfather showed me like what a father is, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even his blood kid,
Child,
and
right.
he
He's
showed
there.
up.
Yeah.
And also just like my friends who were there with me and also here, that gave me enough courage. But then there's also now postpartum happened.
Right.
I didn't know me, I was depressed. By the way, I didn't know. I was just becoming fat. I was not sleeping. And I thought, this is just motherhood, you know?
Right.
Until my mom, when like my mom just clocked it and she was just like, you're you're not okay, because she had it with me. So she was like, you're not okay, you're off, like you're not present. You're
Right.
physically here, but
But
you're
you're
not
not.
mentally present.
Right.
I even had suicidal thoughts like a couple of times. Anytime they would creep in, I'll just look at Jamari, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. You know, like he's the reason I need to live. Like, if I feel like I can't live,
You're living for
I'm
him.
living for him. So that was a thing. But like, one thing is, I've also told myself, not everyone is fit to be a parent.
That is
you
true
know?
too.
So
I think there's even a quote somewhere like that
Mm-hmm.
everyone can give birth, or people can make babies, but not everyone is fit to be a parent.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes
I
sense.
know that firsthand.
Yeah.
Najua your firsthand. But I think for me, it's just like that thing of it takes a village. It really does. I feel that. But, you know, I look at it as I'm blessed, because there are some girls, when they have kids, they're kicked out of their parents' homes and
That
they have
is
to
true.
live on the street and stuff like that, or even end up giving their kids up. And it's not easy. You know, I look at my life like, I'm blessed, you know, I'm
Right.
privileged. So all I can say is just thank you to everyone who's been there, but it's not easy.
And for me, you know, what I usually think, like, the worst thing about when a girl gets pregnant is how judgmental the family can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kwanza it's the uncles, the aunties, they start choching your parents, you
Hey,
know.
poorly.
Yeah, they're the ones said, kumbe anafanya hivi, you know. And it's like their kids are not doing worse, you know.
Yeah.
Like, even for a long time, I was in for a long time, I had a fight with one of my uncles and stuff, because like they kept on being so judgmental towards, like, you know, how I was living, yet I knew their kids were doing, you know, way worse,
Yeah.
you know. So, but I'm not the one who's gonna say, you're gonna talk to me like this or talk to me about like this.
Trust.
Yet your child is doing, like, you know, way worse things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was that actually? Okay, but you said your extended family was good, yeah.
Yeah. Like I kinda, how do I explain this? Like, I don't think there was like judgmental. There was no time. There was like no time. And I think in my family, I also had an uncle who had a kid when he was in high school. So it has, let's not say it's been there, but they know. Like they're aware of those things. Like,
It wasn't a shock.
It wasn't,
it wasn't
a
like,
shock,
oh my gosh, it's the end
but
of
it's
the
the way I
world.
went about it that was a shock.
Appendicitis, guys. Appendicitis. Let's not forget. Yeah. A babe said appendicitis.
But I know what judging is when I got here.
Okay.
I know what judging is actually. Even the first Christmas I had in Malaysia, actually, I had to do it with friends because Jamari was a month old. I can't travel with a 1 month old baby.
For sure.
So we go to like our friend's place, and I was actually really scared because I'm like, I guess I'm not ready to show these heathens
Right.
my kid.
Yeah.
And my friends are like, no, don't worry. We are protectors. With just, no one is going to offend you, talk badly. I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. But Loki, I was like dying. Like,
Yeah.
I was scared. But then now, when I came back to Nairobi, this question of who's the baby's father, me, I'm like, is it your business? Wewe ni baba yake. Kama ni baba yake, kuja, come and be the child's father.
In fact, before anyone should ask you that, they should have bought the baby a gift.
Thank you.
Yeah?
I agree.
Don't ask questions if you're not presenting a gift, huh?
But it's so weird, like, exactly. But at the same time, like, you know, there's some things where I'm like, I'm not going to disclose his identity because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Someone is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not going to shed light on it, like give where he lives, what his name is. No, that's fine. He was just bless her with his things, and it's okay. Might just move, you know?
Yeah.
But that was one thing. And then there was like, oh, when they see you partying at it, oh, ain't you supposed to be home? I'm like, and you? So we're all supposed to be home, but we're here.
I like that.
So like, I have this thing of like, okay, now I'm a mom, I'm supposed to be boring, I'm supposed to just be. No. All the mothers I have met are the most litty
For
people.
sure.
Like, they're the most funniest. Their personalities are just larger than life. I
Right.
feel like people believe that, okay, yeah, when you become a mom, everything changes. There's a 360, but your life doesn't stop. It just takes a different path and an interesting journey. That's all.
But then let me ask you, yeah? Do you guys have like a group for like young mothers or young parents, you know? Or has anyone thought of creating a group like that, you know?
Weird
I think it'd be...
enough, I have a friend who has a son. Oh, he's the cutest. But he's actually one of my best friends from high school.
Yeah.
And they're raising such an amazing child. So we just actually kind of like rekindle our friendship, Juicy, with and I met his girlfriend, soon to be wife, and me and her are very close. Like I've just started opening that chapter where I need to now be with young moms, because that's, I feel like, what I need. No offense to my single friends without kids, na kugojea tu.
Tupo kunasikia unangojewa.
God forbid.
I don't need it today.
But you know me, I don't engage in those behaviors. Not to judge anyone, but lazima. I'm waiting for marriage.
That is a
I'm
topic
waiting
for another
I'm
day.
waiting for marriage.
Let us finish with Wanji, because that is a topic
I'm
for another day.
waiting for marriage.
Sorry, you were saying.
Why aren't we all?
I like that. That is true. That is the ideal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the stage where I want to be with like young moms, and I'm just opening that door because I feel, no offense to my friends that don't have kids, there's something you guys won't get and she can get. Like those guys understand.
Definitely.
So it's just something where I'm also going to learn how to balance my single girls and my mommy girls, and I'm getting to that, that new chapter,
Right.
and it's fun.
No, I definitely understand that, because God has been so gracious that I have a nephew, and bro, like, kids look cute, but they're a lot, and I'm speaking as an auntie. I don't need to be the child, right? But the moments that I'm with them, there's a lot of psychological, physical, emotional work effort that goes into it, that I definitely understand. And I'm so proud to hear that you've reached a point where you're open enough to now get yourself surrounded with moms, because it's true that someone like me won't understand, because I don't have a child. You're about to start paying for school fees. How is that going?
Yeah, like, honestly, you see, even if you think about it, you can't be in the club with Sylvie.
Yeah.
Sylvie will be choching you to buy tequila shots when you need to buy diapers.
No, leave diapers.
Not even diapers.
We're going to school fees. We're going to school fees, bro. Do you know nowadays, what is it?
This kindergarten,
whatever it is almost like a decent school is like 200 Gs.
But come A levels, my G. Bro, I don't get it.
Exactly. So I can't be, we're out in the club, I'm like, hey baby girl, let's do it, which is fun. We can do that, but it can't be an everyday thing. And I can't be, as her single friend, like putting pressure on her, like, okay, why are we not partnering? There's so much now that your mind is going through. And as you said, you're in the toddler stage. Jam is 3 years now.
Who's turning 3
now? Yeah, right, exactly. He's about to turn 3. And now, like, you can't push him back in and be like, yo, just chill. I get like
tulia kidogo.
Like, let me get my affairs in order. And then, so what are the current things that you're thinking about?
Of course, school. And it's like super hard because there's so many factors. Because you want him to get the best of the best. And, hey, are you seeing how these kids of today, by the time they're 5, French is like fluent.
Bro.
Piano, wameshafika sijui grades sijui nini. Like, as in, kuna pressure. As in, I have to be like an Asian tiger mom. I'm not ready. But I have to just, But like, honestly, I'm grateful that I have my mom who's like, I'm learning from her. Like, she's just helping me, holding my hand and navigating me. I'm not being codependent. I'm just there telling her, Mom, I don't know how to choose these schools. She's just like, pick 5. We move from there. So I'm looking at my top 5 and I'm like, these are not enough. So I'm still looking. Like, it's just a thing. Because first of all, we live in another country, so there's
passports needed.
But that's not an issue. That's not an issue. I just want my child to be... and him to enjoy school and learn and be educated, because sisi kwa familia, we're not dumb. We are very smart.
Sorry.
We are not taking...
And she has said with her chest.
We are not taking below average. We are not taking...
Pressure. Jam, don't worry.
And he's our mandem. So like, and the thing is, I also want to teach my child that he can come to me whenever he feels like he's struggling and whatever, because I had that with my mom, but I let my fears and my doubts take over. I don't want him to feel like his doubts and fears should take place and let him just nyamaza. No, I want him to learn and just be a very smart person. But right now, at the moment, he's very just hyper and everywhere.
The one thing that I admire about like young parents is the crazy bond they will have with, kids, their kids when they're older.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because like, having a child at 20 is very different from having a child at 30.
For sure.
That's a whole 10 years.
Yeah.
You get? So you, by the time like your child is 18, you're still young enough to go to the, the club with them or, and enjoy them,
So you've brought up something very interesting. You've said he's a mandem.
Yeah.
And I need to ask this question. How is it raising a son, right? And you're a lady, right? And what are those dynamics? What do they look like? What are you imparting in him? What are the, as in, and as you said, you didn't come from a situation where you had a present father to be able to show you that consistency. And unfortunately, at this moment, his father is also not present. So then how do you have some discussions or the thoughts of course, your parenting is also not just per his age. You're also thinking about when he grows up, the kind of man that you want him to be or the path that you would want him to take.
Yeah.
Right. So as in, what are your thoughts around that? What are the challenges of raising a man?
I think, from the heartbreaks I experienced as a girl, Nairobi men can be gruesome.
Can I roll?
So for me,
I don't think you women are any different though.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I think I should say some Nairobi men, not all. Some.
Yeah. Even when I should say some Nairobi
Thanks,
women.
yes, some. Let me correct the sentence.
You women, let me tell you, women, first of all, at least us men, we're always caught. You women, even on the wedding day, it's maybe the day now, anashikwa.
Because us guys can plan better. That's the problem.
Manipulation is our biggest tool, baby girl. Man can never manipulate. But actually, what I mean for Jamari, what I want him to understand is respect. Number one. That's one thing. I think all my friends know me. I'm big on that stuff. Respect.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a gender thing. Respect is a human thing.
Yeah, but especially towards women as a guy. Like, there's that respect as a man you have to give women. Like, he needs to understand that you cannot. Okay, be a player, hakuna shida, but respect. Hiya. Like, I understand you want to venture, touch waters, do what, but respect. You know what I mean? Have respect
so what is
for
this
them.
respect then? Just break it down for us.
Don't be too timing.
Okay.
Be forward with what you want and address it. Don't be aggressive. Just, how do I say? Be a gentleman. That's what I want my child to be, a gentleman.
Right.
Second, loyalty as always. I want him to have loyalty, expensive loyalty. That one that cannot be bought. Top shelf. One of a kind.
Hey, jam. Uko na mavitu.
So, but at the moment raising him, because he's so naughty, I give birth to myself in like a boy form. I'm beating this child every day. Like, husky, like, I listen. But it's fun, it's hard, it's interesting. But I think the one thing when it comes to parenting, you really have to... Sometimes you have to not be woye. You have to be like, fix that child because you don't want that child to do what he's doing. You want him to think it's okay. And there are certain things I want to instill in my child that I think I have and also my twin brothers have that is amazing. Like, especially my twin brothers are the most mature 18-year-olds I've ever met in my life. And when it comes to like, someone be like, oh, you're the mom, you can't teach him the manly things. I was like, there's a reason they're uncles and they're godfathers, because I can be like, I can go sit down with this guy and be like, I'm struggling with this, please assist in this matter.
Right.
And that will be covered.
Right.
So
trust me.
Yeah.
Those men conversations.
Uko ready?
I'm ready.
So
I'm ready. Yeah.
He's
And
ready.
me, the conversations I have these days,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hide anything from him. I'll
Uncle
tell him
too
as it
busy
is.
in the
But there's a
building.
reason. Like, there's actually a reason.
And also those
if I-
places you want him to go for the first time. Just the number.
You're easing my heart.
Yeah.
I'm not worried if he's with you. There's some other people. I love you. You know yourself. If Jamar is with you, utani stress. Like, as you come and talala, like, I'll probably come join you.
Right.
But it's at that point where I'm just, enjoying. There's a weird thing. Someone came up to me and was like, oh, your son is not talking. He might be autistic. That girl was not ready. And I was like, one thing people need to learn, unsolicited advice is not needed. That's why it has "un" before the word solicited.
Yeah.
It's not asked for.
Right.
So that's one thing as a young mom, in Malaysia I wasn't experiencing. Here,
Right.
The child is with a sweater. You don't think he's cold? You need to add another one. You think I want to dress my child like a Kikuyu kid there with like a whole balaclava and 5 sweaters and a blanket?
Here you come.
No,
Hot,
but like,
hot,
as in,
hot,
that's the
hot.
thing. One thing I can tell you as a young mom, one thing I learned, someone can come and say, I say, he's okay, thank you though, thank you. You
Yeah.
just say, okay, thank you. Don't take it personally. In fact, when they start talking, mute. Just
Mute.
too.
Right.
When then you just nod to show you're listening.
You're listening, but you're really not
You
there.
know, that's the thing. So
Siski.
one thing I've learned is just to filter out the unnecessary and filter in the necessary.
Right.
And I have, you guys, it's been a while, but I'm happy, you know.
You just mentioned something that, like, you gave birth to a naughty child because you're equally naughty. I can concur to that. But you said that you're beating him. So I want to have this discussion because, of course, the climate has changed. The way us guys were whooped, it's not the same way I'm assuming you're whooping him.
Please, my friend, spoil the road.
Spoil the
No,
child.
spare
Spare
the
the
rod,
rod. Spoil the child.
Thank you.
Proverbs, huh?
Ah,
At least
okay. Are you a Proverbs 31 woman?
Imagine I have to.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to kids, I think it depends on the personalities. You know, there's some kids where kuchapa, they respond. There's some kids when you tell them, you have a conversation, you tell them no, they listen. So you
Right.
just have to know your child's personality. You
Okay.
just navigate. Sometimes they'll need a whooping to understand. Here it won't work.
It's fine.
But I understand everyone parent is like, I'll just have a sit down, time out. Me, let me tell you, I was whooped.
Right.
Grounding never worked.
Yeah.
You'd ground me, you find me in the TV room there with my feet up watching TV. You know, like
With your chest.
with my chest. It's only when I got older grounding worked.
Right.
But like at the 9, 10, 11, who are you grounded? Just beat me. May I will listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But it just, you have to know your child's personality and how to work
And
around
yours is
that.
not timeout.
Does that child look like a timeout kid?
I can't.
No. Hey,
I
Can't
saw him.
even
I
stay
saw
in
him.
one place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so basically, for you right now, I'm assuming you use different ways and different methods of like disciplining him, right? Do you guys have like conversations where he's like, okay, cool, like I get it, or what have I done wrong? Or like, can you tell when he doesn't know what he's done wrong? Or like him is just
Jamaj is
Kaende.
smart. That boy is smart. So he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he'll still do it. So you just have to.
so he's just
You have to
pushing,
be on him.
pushing the boundary.
You have to be on him. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, you can't afford to slack. You know, there's a moment where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm like, I've slacked. He's back. Like, I can't have to be on his
You have to be on toes.
Yeah,
Right.
You have
so
to be on toes. Yeah.
he keeps me like on him. He's too quiet. The boy is up to something.
Yeah.
He's doing this. When,
Kuna
you
kitu
hear,
hapo.
when you hear him giggling,
Yeah.
There's something's done.
why?
There's
Na
nothing
kucheza
that-
na maji kwa choo, all those things. I'm like, why? Like, why? You
Why are
know,
you doing this?
why?
But anyways, Wanjera, as we come to the end of this, there's 2 questions we ask someone, and the first one is, what is advice you'd give a younger you?
Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
You're doing good.
you're doing good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what advice are you giving a future Wanjera?
Don't give up.
Yeah,
It only gets better from here.
It's
I
better.
like that one.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to end with? Any advice to any upcoming mothers?
My
Kina
advice
Sylvie.
Hey.
to upcoming mothers and Antiwa Dubai's children are expensive. So see, don't be cheap. Second, like just don't give up. Like in life, things are thrown at you. Remember their lessons learned. Just when I say be strong, it also means be vulnerable at the same time. Don't
Yeah.
be afraid to speak up. You know, that's the biggest thing I can say. But also, you know, shout outs. Shout out to my guys on the streets. Kina Elvis, Viola, I love you guys. Grace, you know. And you know, if I haven't mentioned your name, you know I love you. Tupac, thank you so much for having me. Like, oh my gosh.
Sylvie, anything?
Well, for me, I'd say it's a blessing to be here. And I'm always grateful to have this opportunity to have conversations that matter and that, you know, will leave an impact and a positive impact at that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, keep on tuning in. You know, this is the place to catch a blessing. Yeah? So have a good one, guys.
And for me, finally, thank you so much, guys. I'd like to thank my my co-host first of all. I'd like to thank my guest as well for sharing a very remarkable story. Me, I've never had a story like that, but At least now I'm prepared when we cross that chapter, if we cross it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support, and let's see you next week.